when it's tough, right? It's asking somebody different to deliver something the same. So we'll see how that works out. And actually, a great point from the desk, obviously, about KRU's ability to comfortably retake, right? And that's something they're going to have to heavily rely on, because actually, with the Sage behind this Neon, it kind of acts as one of those securing factors, right? You get in, you find that first blood, and you can close off a massive channel in terms of these site retakes. Actually, a heavy stack outside A main here, and progress towards the north side. All 5 members of KRU over here. Again, the information nice and early. Can X10 find just the site ahead of this? Yeah, the smokes are down, so we'll be able to find this free plant.
Yeah, and the post plant's going to be quite nice too. This is going to be a big test for X10 and their capability to actually pull back and sit deep in these post plants, not give anything away, make KRU work for it. Plenty of utility to play with, though, for KRU, so this is when we get to see it. Lovely position, dirty little off angle for Muffin. Decides it's time to dip away, probably rightly so. Did the damage, didn't allow the trade, and now we look towards the 4 players remaining to make their mark towards the site. Alyssa.
Big nice stun coming through, actually.
Absolutely right, but it's down to 2. The numbers are dwindling. This is lovely from X10. Mike.
A flawless pistol round here, and again with no resistance. Actually, X10 commit to an open plant, which means they can sit deeper. They don't have to rely on this one sight line from A main. And allows total freedom here in the post plant. KRU, again, roll the dice. All 5 members exploring the north side of the map. And nothing on the other side of it. And Muffin making use of that new position just below drop. And punishing on the first, TPing away as well, completely unscathed.
The new drop has just some nice little ratty angles to play around. I'm actually quite happy to get to see the new fracture here. Like the changes. Oh, come on now, Kinnear. Talked about those first bloods. You noted it before. Still racking up those bodies. Site is going to be once again taken, though. This feels part of the course almost at this point.
Wall preventing actually Conir in any value on that repeat. This time around, a little bit of resistance, so X10 do commit to that safe plant.
Oh, but where does Ginny post up on this? Able to actually utilize that trap being dealt with.
Smoke goes down.
Be an
did
audio
Ginny hear it? Yeah.
Oh, you're certainly going to see it. I don't know if Ginny's
I don't think Ginny's heard it.
Oh no, Ginny. It couldn't be going worse than this. Suddenly, a terrible surprise, and Polly is now called to attention. Has to turn around, does some great chip damage, but has to commit that molly towards this now. Trying to hold back the flood of players coming on through. KRU trying to make their entrance, try to be a problem, be that nuisance they can be, but the numbers are still good for X10.
Still clean up as well. Keeping 3 alive, 3 Spectres carried across. Even actually with, like I said, Ginny being caught off guard here, not hearing that smoke go down over the trap. At this point, actually, just, well, you can't even call it from this situation with no info. But the fault line committed towards Sand, just so they can get safe access into A main. Meant that Polly's able to secure that hold. Great placement of the molly as well, just backing away, not taking any risks, not committing to that fight. Even here, actually, with the investment,
that works.
Based actually brings in a Guardian here. A couple of light shields across the KRU inventory. No presence outside dish for KRU, so it'll just be the trap here to reveal, but Baby TZ could block that off.
Yeah. Do they just burst on the site, it looks like? Waiting for the smokes to be committed.
Spike dropped.
They just pop on the smokes here, yeah.
Yep. So everything dealt with, and the other 2 players for KRU are gonna. Baby TZ caught off guard for a second, but a great trade. Fantastic spacing from Alyssa there. And they're following this up. They want to secure space. They want to keep territory clear through by A main, noting no one. Sees obviously that they took the route through by Dish, so they know the other players maybe on towards that balcony, maybe coming through on CT, but the wall in place. Wonderful read thus far. Still gonna make this tricky for KRU.
Problem being as well, Muffin does have that Vandal. Big upgrade, so can play range on this post plant. It's a safe plant once again, with 2 bodies towards main. Should be a relatively easy hold here for X10.
Yeah, not dissuaded by that molly coming in. Great trades again. Nothing goes unanswered here. Konsu does what she can, but Muffin. Fantastic positioning, and that was the bonus, and it wasn't masses brought into that. It was just Spectres, it was your odds and ends, and they made it work fantastically. Look at the wealth already starting to build up towards X10 now.
And the contact play on the back of that trap. No resistance on the wall either. That goes straight over towards CT. Actually, aggression all the way into sand. It's just one member that goes towards site. Massive, massive flood towards finding that kill. Actually, I think was it Romy that's caught off guard with the door just being open there. And Kalita catches one of the stuns from Baby TZ and just has to hope for the best. Connor posted deep up to try and avoid these stuns via Baby TZ or the fault line. The second one should catch, actually.
Oh. Clean with it. And I've got to say, X10 looked drilled on this map.
Yeah, very, very well rehearsed.
And we've seen a couple of varieties on it, different looks, different elements to it, but this is very hard for KRU to get a grip on thus far. Maybe not the next round, but maybe after that if it goes wrong, might be the time for the timeout. No, nothing to be really recovered off of Muffin. That was the ult brought out here. So Kalita, Romy, and Konsu still looking for any opportunities given, but with that wall up towards drop, you've got one towards CT, but these post plants are good. There is no easy options here.
Almost just that slight variation with the wall as well. It's keeping KRU guessing on where they can play to hold these sites. Konsu will find a response, but a little late in the day.
Okay, let's see if we can cost them any more. Ooh, lovely. Really clean work there from Ginny. Exit should be fine. Should be able to get away with the rifles. 3 still standing. Good work for X10. They'll take that. And KRU need to find an answer pretty soon. I want to see what they do with this buy here, Mike.
Opportunity here with Konsu having the res available, and they want to aggressively go for this first blood. But X10, the trend continues with how stacked they are in the early round. There's not really any weakness for KRU to try and exploit. It's going to require an awful lot, and I mean, actually, the first time we are seeing a little bit of disconnect here. Muffin positioned over towards B main here. 4 members of X10 holding over on the north side. Wall goes up towards Arcade, though, so there's not going to be anybody to greet that on the other side. Actually, with the trip placement here, it's almost looking as if X10 might even try and get behind this wall. Another 20 seconds or so before it starts to decay. But Konsu has preemptively rotated towards A site. So it's just based here. Whether or not they just give this up for the retake. Like I said, 10-15 seconds left on it. Actually, going to punch a hole in it. Whether or not that's actually going to draw the rotation, it does. And X10 considering getting back through Dish. Look at it, the progress through A main already now. Sent Kalita across the B site as well.
And the scary factor is that they have no idea if they're in tower, how deep they got there. No one actually posted on the site particularly. So now, Muffin, careful!
Still gets one, though.
Still good for one. That was very surprising, even catching Kinnear in that scenario. The trade comes from Romy. Now, this time, there's actually a fight on the side. X10 won't have the same sort of easy access. There will be utility. There will be bodies here. Baby TZ quickly over towards Sand, dives on in, takes down Kalita. And now Romy going to post the ult, and it finds nothing. Now the spike should be able to go down uncontested. The firing squad and Romy still going to get down to. Rez could come through and it does. Kalita back up on the feet. Alyssa there, Ginny there. Rez now available for Alyssa, but the spike is down and ticking in their side. Can they hold on to this with merely 2 against the 4 of KRU? And now it's all on Ginny. A 1v4, unlikely as it seems, may give it a damn good go, and Kalita overwhelms. KRU finally posting one back.
By a fine margin as well. Just one of these engagements goes the other way. Muffin just caught off guard a little bit. Yeah, Romy finding 4 on the round, going huge. Find a crucial kill or trade onto Muffin.
The double
but
there.
This was ridiculous.
That really caught me off guard. I thought Romy was dead, especially with both of them, hunting them down, actively looking for that pick. Brilliant outplay there by Romy to be able to find both of those players. Now, it hasn't completely shattered X10 by any means. We saw the wealth that they were building up initially. They'd built up that bank behind them. They've got some good ults coming through here as well.
Not just the finances, this first ult cycle looking very, very strong for X10. On the flip side, Rez invested. That was everything that was available. Conir, though, does have this tour de force.
So dangerous. How long do they stay here?
Baby TZ's stuns are so on point.
Wait, and they got the picks over towards B as well at the same time.
And the res back to 5 standing.
They could just hit the switch. Yeah, they could just go for this B piece if they want it. There is still that wall here to play around, but that could be broken. They're not particularly subtle about it. There's contact. Beish does need to walk away from this now. There's a whole lot of players about to come your way. And there's still 1 minute 10 on the board. They could decide to go for a double pump. They don't have to commit to this just yet. There goes The ult, Alyssa gonna take a whole lot of damage and just meandering through the smoke is their downfall. Kinnear and Beisht actually catching enough that's brought it back to a 3v3.
And the slow field going down just ahead of the molly here as well. You retrieve the spike, the TP away from Muffin. They are making noise though, so you can already see Kinnear and Beisht, but the pings come out on the minimap. They know about the rotation, they've heard the steps also.
It will be a 3v2 at least rather than the 3v3. You can see Polly considering the ult now coming in, going to slow down any support coming in through on CT.
Can they cross with that though?
No, just out of time. Kinnear can catch it, doesn't catch the player though. Ginny on the side
open
now, and they are. Audacious plant. Brave, and Kinnear not given the chance to deny that, and all players going back through from CT, so the cross is being watched. Great work from Muffin, and now the two players can swing from the side. A lovely post plant, but Beisht still doing everything she can.
My God.
Ult's ready to go. Sends it for Polly. Gets the frag.
What? 4 on the round for Beisht, but the orbital strike not enough. Polly still finds it. Absolute chaos there in round 6.
I hope we get to see a replay of that with the timing of it, because that felt so close at the very end that Polly was still able to just find the pick prior to Beisht. The ult coming through. Let's have a little watch of this again. You can see it's starting to be considered very quickly. There it is, just before. Oh,
and she needed to give it another half second just before swinging behind that.
Oh, you can see.
Yeah, high pressure scenario though.
Yeah. Wow.
An elimination on the line here, Lauren.
See those mistakes starting to build, that pressure starting to show every other day of the week. I'm sure that composure would have been key. It would have been there. Not this time around. X10 continue to move forward. 5 play to 1. And little do they know, just around that corner, Konsu.
Flash might go behind Konsu though. Still has to turn it, but fully catches it.
Maybe TZ double checking there. Oh, the ultimate just spraying and praying with it. Kinnear finally slows the roll down, but eventually overwhelmed. The site's theirs. This should be a plant, and there should be very little fight back at this point.
See already, Beisht. Backpedaling away from spawn is a 2v4 here. Decent utility, but no. Romy and Beisht thinking better of it. Going to try and make something happen in the next with 2 rifles. 2 off the showstopper as well. Something you would love to have in the next round, but not going to be possible. And X10 continuing with this pace that we saw employed a couple of times on Haven. KRU just constantly feel like they're on the back foot. It needs an individual to pop off. A Romy 4K, a Polly, Konsu, multi-kill, something like that to get KRU online in these rounds, but it's just not there.
No, so let's kind of then draw it back to what we were talking about at the beginning. How do we feel about Baby TZ sitting on this Neon as well? Because that was a new role they picked up, and they seem very happy.
The stuns are so precise. It's creating so much pressure in the early round as well. I mean, it's preventing Kinnear from really getting into those deep angles, posting up very early on. And even actually when Kalita came across as that support system, forced off by all that utility.
And I guess the obvious follow-up question is then how do we feel about Muffin sitting on towards the chamber? Looking very cozy.
Looking sharp.
Yeah,
looking very sharp. And Ginny as well. Maybe not reflected here numerically. Assists, yes. But the utility usage is on point. It's the variation, right? I was talking about the Sage Wall variating between obviously towards spawn, over towards rope as well. It's keeping KRU guessing of where they can actually formulate these retakes. It's slowing them down. Ginny, on the other hand, just as precise with the stuns. The flashes have been perfect as well. X10 firing on all cylinders right now.
Yeah, really warming into this game, and I'm glad we've got to see these two looking just as deadly on such varied roles. So going full circle on that here, and as you highlighted for KRU, I would like to see a player step up a little, give that spark back over to them, fight a bit of that magic from map 1, because even map 2 felt a little bit out of character there, starting to look a little bit quieter, even with the first pods coming in, even with those opportunities being made, none of it being able to be capitalized on. So they have pumped the brakes here, if you were wondering. They have called that timeout here, KRU, just to try and discuss their options going forward, because it has been very hard for them to get a grip on this game, and this is elimination. So we can't stress it enough. There are no second chances beyond this. You've taken it to map 3, and now you're staring down at 6-1. It's a very, very hard road back here.
If actually X10 decide to make any sort of adjustment here, maybe TZ dipping her toes once again.
Running low.
So we push outside dish, and actually the retreat from Kalita here with the fault line.
Go, go, go.
Almost looking as if it's trying to set somebody up for a first blood, but the smoke's come down. And force Crew so deep off this site.
Yeah, so much freedom at the start here. Didn't have to fight for A main control, sand up for grabs as well. Leaves you with a fair amount of utility even in the post plant. There's that same wall going up towards drops, so no one can really make much of that. You're stuck towards at least having dish accessible. That's something.
Thing is now I see Polly disconnected outside main with that molly. Whether or not they're just going to try and brawl this out, kill some time, and play off that lineup.
Speaking of time, it's really starting to get costly. Baby TZ waiting for their contact and finds it from Kinnear, actually. It's Alyssa on the side, can spot one, but doesn't go straight for that. Keeps cool, keeps composed, keeps three, make it four! Alyssa, fantastic work from the site. And X10 look unfazed, look unfussed by KRU, who are unable to make a mark in this game.
Yeah, really looking towards KRU to build around Romy, who is finding value, finding some kills. Well, not aggression is the answer here. 7-1 the scoreline. Beautiful cleanup from Alyssa, one of the power players we were talking about.
Yeah, really seeing that come to the forefront.
This is what you want to see on map 3 as well.
Of course.
From X10. To look so dominant here.
Now we talked about the blowouts at the start in their initial matchups, but what a time to come alive for X10. KRU sadly cowering rather than standing tall in this one, trying to find options, sure. And maybe this is the first one. Muffin isolated. They put all players basically towards us, excluding one.
Konsu's still here, though.
And they have no idea. They have absolutely no idea. There is an enemy behind the line, and they're still baffled. They're still confused, and no one is dealing with Konsu. Finally goes down. It is a 3v2. Numbers eventually favorable towards KRU. Plant's going to be coming in, though.
The wall actually is their demise now. They're actually forced to play open in sight.
Who's locked in with who? That's the question. Polly still sitting pretty. 100 HP. Molly still to play. Needs quite an impact in this round though, because KRU players sitting very clean themselves. Oh, this could be a nice little angle for Ginny if she gets away with it. Surely not. Maybe a one and done. Gonna grab one taken with her. There it is. Checked in the end. Kinnear. Smart play.
Finally,
we go. Yeah,
a decisive round from KRU.
Oh,
much needed here.
Took so long
to kind of stem the bleeding. There's still 5 rounds to find though, and a big bankroll to chip away at. I think coming away from that, it's 200-300 credits apiece for some of the members of KRU that are forced to repurchase here. Konsu. It goes unchecked for so long on top side.
And these are the things, though, I feel like it'd be very hard to replicate. It's very, one-off things to a degree. Yes, they did manage to isolate. I think it was Muffin at the very start, and then you did have that one player going completely unnoted towards the top of the site. Now, if they can replicate that for KRU, fantastic. I just don't know if they can. A lot of ults to play with as well for X10 in this round.
As I said, the problem being they get one on the board, but they're still faced with such a disadvantage. A Guardian thrown in the mix for Kalita. Spectre for Konsu. And ultimates are plenty for X10. I mean, one thing I wanted to see was the early round cleaned up for X10. A big tick in the box here. Baby TZ has been fantastic so far on Fracture.
Oh, goes kind of to waste.
It's almost desperation. It's preemptive. It's paranoia to just slow things down. The orbital strike in response is fantastic. It forces Konsu nearly to expose herself.
Incredible work from base to at least find 2 there, because they were trying to swing around. Sand turns a little bit of the flash, but not quite enough. Muffin, the second bite of the cherry here is a 2v4. This is very favorable towards KRU, just putting bodies on the right side at the right time. That's 1, that's 2, a third! Would have been heaven sent. Not to be. And the third this time will be for KRU, getting the scoreline to a more respectable marker.
Big opportunity here to stabilize as well. Tour de force available. Funds still not built up across the board. Although Con is actually going to pass that rifle across.
Oh, the second. Wow.
Beautiful from base, dude. Had a quiet map too as well. Quiet start here on Fracture. You see even here, actually, that wall on ropes causing further problems. Almost an opportunity, actually, for Muffin to tuck in and find another engagement. It's actually X10 to pump the brakes a little bit.
Certainly is. So gonna feel the burn a little bit, feel that pressure coming back in. See what they can make from this. That was a very heavy stack coming out from KRU. Great deals of players present on the A side, rightly so. Correct place. X10 though, I wonder if they can find a way to navigate around this. They've had a couple of different looks thrown at them now. Let's see what the adjustments are. Ult-wise, burnt quite a few there. Still has Ginny's only one off. Alyssa's in hand. Baby TZ pretty far away from it. Polly and Muffin, similar scenes. And on the other side, Kinnear has theirs. And that's why we were discussing maybe the economy. If they want to spread the wealth a little here, could get the rifle that was still in hand over to one of the teammates. Konzu only one away from the res as well. So a couple of very key ults becoming available. So we have to see if they do depend on them, or if they do come into play this round.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the minimap now. Looks like a total switch up for X10.
Yeah.
Heavy focus towards arcade. And once again, we see the setup with Muffin disconnected down towards B main. Now, Conir is on a little bit of an island. A safe TP, yes. We're going to be positioned towards tower here, and there's no wall to slow down this arcade push.
Ooh, Kinnear, how long do you stick on this? Goes back for another go at it. Forced to TP. Now the site is already controlled. It's going to have the plant coming in. Nothing to deny that now as well. First time we're really seeing this all in B piece. Plant now through. Towards again, Kinnear. Different positioning here. Trying to work back in, but the smoke's still in practice, still in play, buying precious time.
This is a huge engagement though for Konsu.
Launching smoke.
Polyati out of the smokes now.
Oh, the timing. Do they check it? Gave it a glance, didn't feel with full intent, which I don't blame you. Now Baby TZ in a whole world of trouble, whole world of hurt. Kinnear gonna put him to the grave, and Muffin looking a little out of it there. Three of them, Ginny, Alyssa, Polly to try and hold on to this one. Alyssa burning alive, has to get out of there and face the firing squad. Polly's gone down, the diffuser's coming in, and nothing is stopping it now. KRU back in the game, even if it's with just 4 rounds.
Another one of those rounds that Desk alluded to, right? KRU looking well rehearsed in terms of the retakes. And this is almost the plan from the get-go, right? Put Conir out on an island, holding down that B site, anchoring up in tower. Again, dips her toes, but doesn't find anything with the tour de force initially, but gets out. That's the important thing. Maintains numbers for KRU.
Yeah, we're finally seeing a little bit of fight back coming in from KRU here. Firing up towards the end of this first half. Now, the wealth starting to dwindle for X10. They are going to have to take a couple of losses here.
Yeah, I mean, this is a force, call it, with the light shields and the Bulldog in the mix. Res available. Rolling Thunder available. KRU now have an opportunity to close things out somehow, 7-5.
Yeah, very respectable scoreline if they actually manage it.
An absolute dream for KRU if they can pull it off.
And I feel like they're responding now. KRU keeping those players present. If nothing noted on the other side, obviously now it'll be Kinnear over there again, seeing nothing early on, so allowing these 4 players to stay on towards the A site. Now contact made, but you can note, and obviously X10 don't know this, Romy still very much active, present, checking towards A main, making sure no one's following up from that contact on the wall. So they're still keeping players here, but I'm wondering when do they start to decide to hit that rotation button?
Same setup here, so KRU almost relying on that ability to retake comfortably towards B site. As X10 creep closer and closer. A couple of sound cues this time around though. Conir, she gives her life up.
Yeah, this could be the difference here. Not be able to keep 5, not be able to keep a step towards the site. They've lost a lot of the room here, and it's a long rotation route back. Maybe trying to gather up towards the north side a little as well, but look who's
Polly's
waiting.
Gonna hear this.
Yeah, Polly should indeed hear this. Now notes 1, potentially 2. And now calls for support. Yeah, not alone in this. Polly gets some support over this side. Utility being poured in. It is a big fight towards the north, but it's being held off. Beige gonna find Ginny. Support system gone. Baby TZ. Now, next to the chopping block, here comes the cavalry. What a shot. Polly finding Kalita and Romy, leaving just Konzu and Beige still alive, and now it's just Konzu. Does have res, does have the spray. Oh, it has 4.
It's not planning for Muffin.
Muffin's got to move. Muffin's got to go. Konzu finally comes off the defuse and now being tied with. Heartbreak at the very end. Muffin just about keeping this in check. 8-4. But what a different look to that scoreline after that run of the end.
Absolutely. Like I said, it would have been a miracle for KRU to find that 5th there. I mean, Muffin getting away with murder. I'm not sure the timing there of exactly how that defuse would have looked, but... And this is when actually X10 look as if they solidify this hole. Finding up 2 freebies. Konsu finding the final kill onto Ginny as well.
Yeah, what a start from X10 in this half, but the answer was there from KRU. They've given themselves a lifeline going forward here. Analyst desk, is this enough for KRU to stay alive?
Well, that is the question here, Pansy and Hypok. But first, who knew that you can go A more than 8 rounds? Because they win there 10 times, Vansili.
Yeah, but they also changed the pace. I think they did a little bit there what they did in the region, right, in APAC, of doing that 4-1 split that even Hypok was mentioning it during the broadcast. But then it's just like, let's just hit it quick. Let's just hit it quick. No more waiting in spawn for a minute, and that just threw KRU off all the time. And it seems as though it's predictable. You go into a timeout, but then after you go B, you're still getting these plants. 11 plants into the half.
Yeah, and one round there you wanted to revisit is one of those many A rounds.
Yeah, exactly. When you're going into this hit towards the A side, what I wanted to underline is how well X10 is currently playing under pressure at the last map, Elimination Series, where Pauly, low HP on top of that, about to get hit by an orbital strike, understands where, again, communication has to be important to know what Beish is currently standing at. So that has to come out for your teammates. That allows Pauly to move out and get that kill and allow these rounds to just snowball for X10 to get that advantage.
It took a while, but we finally saw Kalita, the IGL, make some adaptations there. We saw the team stack A.
Yep.
They didn't panic when the orbital strike came out. They were positioned for that sand push. And this is what we're going to have to see more of in the second half. Kalita, the IGL, putting those skills to use, just as Ginny was getting those flashes and activating the Neon and Baby TZ, we need to see the same with our IGL. Kalita on the breach, flashing for her entries to take over the site. And then, of course, Connier on the chamber. We expect her to get more first kills as she has been in previous maps.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great one right now. I mean, we talked about the double sentinels that they currently have too. I want to know how that's going to play on the attack side.
I mean, we speak about if this is enough. What do you guys think? Is 4 enough?
Oof, that's a tough call, because for me, again, X10, it seems like they really changed their play style going into this map where they have full control of that A site, and we know that they could also play very aggressively on defense. I might think that this might not be enough here for KRU in the end.
My concern is just momentum is so
Exactly.
in X10's favor. Even going back to the previous map, they're smiling right now. They're laughing. They're having a good time. All the pressure is on KRU.
Well, the Des, they don't think this is enough, but that doesn't matter, Pansy and Hypok. It has to be enough if KRU wants to stay in this tournament.
You're absolutely right. And the big question is, you know, that pressure starting to mount for KRU. That is the big question mark here, is do they have that composure going forward?
I mean, the one saving grace is that actually KRU's favor leans on the attacking round win rate percentage. So a little bit of hopium to huff there.
Sure.
What do X10 bring to the table here in the second half?
That's what we're going to find out now, as already that contact is made, and it's Muffin to claim 2. Beish and Kinnear go down, so it couldn't have been a worse start for KRU. Already on the back foot, but going to be taking themselves towards the site.
2 freebies actually to get away. Muffin tacked up down to 22. So plant uncontested though. KRU need to find a kill. Maybe TZ on the other side of the smoke with Polly. And actually the flash, I think, caught up inside the smoke.
Yeah, a little bit. Didn't quite get the footing they need, but it is still just Konzu here to try and do more damage. Lovely shot towards Alyssa. Have to get the heal off. But the problem is, don't know how much you can do to deny the defuse. X10 going to pick up the pistol here in the second half.
2 kills in the plant. Potential here to force something into the next. A little bit of a buffer there with that 300 credit bonus. Might just go into Sheriffs, to be honest with you. Pressure mounting because X10 on 9. It's just so free for these opening 2 kills as well. It's the spacing between Connier and Beish. And the fact that it's Beish as well, who's probably tied up trying to coordinate these smokes ahead of this execution.
And you said about the force, you're right.
Yeah.
They've decided to go for it here.
They have technically forced that buy round a little deeper. KRU walk into the blender here with these stuns. Initially, like, maybe TZ going to find the first. 2 massive kills from the Kalita though.
Oh, but G wants it right back. Konzu and Kalita go down. This is just a mauling. This is just a brawl straight up thrown down. Spike down, they're making a run for it. They're making a dash for it, but little do they know the entire time Muffin's been waiting over towards the side of the map. That trap will be very telling. They check for it. Muffin's going to hear a whole lot here.
Playing this perfectly though. Taking no risks.
Spike planted.
He'll be able to relay this information that nobody's pushed tower as well.
Quite telling. Not much left for the post plant. I see a molly still with Beish. That's about it.
Fault line's going to come through. This
That's
is huge.
one spotted. Oh, the timing on the swing, and you're right. It's the discipline from Muffin to not overdo it, not overpeak, not play ahead of the timing.
Talked about Ginny in the first half once again, setting up Muffin to clean this one up. That's 10 on the board. Like I said, with that force purchase, it forces that buy round a little deeper. It's the crew almost faced with conceding the 11th on top of this.
Lovely shots. There's the saving grace of the round. Just a shot in the dark. Sometimes they line up for you, but yeah, you got to give credit here, in my mind, to Muffin for that composure. Really keeping cool under all that pressure. Didn't get ahead of it. Waited for the support. Lovely play. 10 rounds now for X10, and you've got to say, if you're a crew fan, you're getting worried here. Yes, it's only the start of it, but by now they're already at double digits. You're already staring down a long road back here. Certainly possible, but far from easy.
Konsu and Connie try and probe towards Arcade here, test the waters against Muffin. Actually, yeah, finding it, Connie. Massive opener and a big gap created. X10 scrambling to find this rotation, but the spike should be able to go down on the back of that kill alone.
Yeah. One gonna come in. Ooh, actually denied. All right. Readjustment. Gonna go for that corner plant.
Spike planted.
Center right at the door now. This is so dangerous.
Smoke's invested early for Polly though.
Oh, the pop. Good with a turn. Lovely round. Next 10 now pressured. Baby TZ gonna be overdone on this. Ginny still gonna claim one with it. Very chaotic at the end, but it will be crew finding their footing here.
10-5 the score, and actually aside from that forced purchase, almost plays out as expected.
Yes.
If everything had gone according to plan.
It's true.
Back in with an opportunity to win round 3 in the second half. Still a big gap. Maybe TZ just caught off guard with the reload or the weapon switch or what. After that first kill. No, I mean, actually, other than Baby TZ down on the Stinger, one away from the ultimate, so yeah, they're going to go straight for this orb. So it should round out this purchase.
How far do they commit? How far do they go on this?
I'm almost actually a little concerned. It's 3 Spectres for crew. Only the 2 rifles. Connier, the power player. The crew proving that in the previous round as well. The crew are waiting for X10 to overstep the mark.
No one has just yet. They're right at that kind of verge, around the precipice of doing it. Maybe over-pushing, getting a little too curious, but respecting the smokes, playing a little deeper. Now they're going to apply a little bit more pressure towards that B site here.
Muffin's going to feel the heat.
Yeah, Muffin's going to be really composed once again. We asked this of them before. Going to have to do it one more time. In towards the side we go. Crew going to take all that space, get the plant. They're going to be in a post-plant real quick. Cavalry rotation en route, though. This is not going to be as comfortable as they'd like. Maybe TZ all ready to go. I still counter flash to slow this down, but still going to make progress.
She runs all the way out in the open whilst fully blind, but still finds a kill on default here.
How has it gone this far? Baby TZ should never have got here, disrespecting the smoke. No one watching it, and now Konsu lurking on the other side of it. Similar scene, sprays and prays, and someone's answering. Ginny goes down, Diffuse gets denied. Overwhelmed by Baby TZ though with the ultimate, and now it's on Kinnear in the 1v2 gets one, but the Diffuse, it's not stopping.
Oh my God.
Denies it. For the Red Bull clutch, Crew staying alive.
Massive from Connier. Talked about her being the power player, proving it 2 rounds back to back. And that's a massive momentum swing here for Crew in the second half.
The fact that they were ahead of the smoke and no one was watching it, great work from Baby TZ to get to this point, but again, similar scenes here. No one watching for that push through the smoke.
I mean, even Konsu getting the second there as well is crucial. A
Timing.
wild spray to find it. Maybe that's the wind in their sails. That's what they needed coming into the second half.
You said you wanted one player to start really leading the way, shoulder some of the responsibility, and I think we're starting to see a bit of that, glimpses of it now. It is still 6-10, but this is a round that X10 will have to respect. They can't buy into this too heavily.
And look what it's done. I mean, yes, with the Sheriffs here, but it's completely flipped the setup from X10. You now see Muffin solo towards drop here. Deep trap in A main. Full of force available though. The other 4 members of X10 actually stacked towards B, and KRU toying with the idea of creeping up. Connor's actually popped the tour de force as well with a Vandal in hand, so that would have been big in terms of a comeback. To kind of mount a little bit of money going. Stun set up towards Arcade here from Ginny, and that should put maybe TZ and Polly in a position to find a kill, potentially.
Maybe 2.
I think Polly's spotting here. Polly's the one about to call this.
Yeah. There it is. Can they make the most of it? Oh, it's not pretty. It's not pretty at all. KRU happy with that. Yeah, get away from the trap. Didn't get really any threats. Messy work there from Baby TZ. Didn't get any sort of footing towards it. And now Ginny and Muffin. Muffin does have the tour de force out. We've seen a couple of these go absolutely mad, but this is a lot. Plant in. Ginny's found based. 4 victims to find. Surely not.
Muffin did ring off a shot though, so he should be anticipating this and Connor holding the angle.
Lovely.
Just Ginny to find. KRU
Back
up to
in it.
7 now. X10 will come back on their buy round here. There's not going to be an awful lot left behind this though. 3 rounds unanswered. You see here Polly desperate, but again the call's not relayed quick enough there. I think if the play is for Polly to shoulder that and then put Baby TZ in a position to play off the fault line, it's just a little behind. I think I saw a smoke go down on top of Ginny, so maybe that's the confusion that comes through there. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah. You could see the intention at the start for it, but yeah, the actual execution looked a little out of character. Okay, X10.
Proactivity.
Highly proactive, and early pressure felt by Muffin here.
Konsu's lucky to get away with her life there. Rez as well, so that would have been a big, big kill for Muffin to find. Might even get a second shot at it.
Yeah, and the new benefit to this position. Way more playable with that operator. No smoke to really deny it here. Gonna spot the play up. 3 coming this way, and they line up. Muffin with a 2-for-1 discount. Konsu and Beisht devastated. A devastating Muffin finally falls, but 3 bodies placed in the ground just by her hand, leaving Romy and Kinnear to try and pick up the pieces.
It's a triple flank coming through A main as well, Lauren, and the plant is open. They've stopped it.
They've slowed
Romy's
it down,
off it.
and here comes Baby TZ, quick as you like, finding Kinnear, following it up. This is desperate times. Romy's dead. And that was some heroics coming out from Muffin, but the rest were there.
What a round from Muffin. Again, gets a second shot at it, yes, but finds the freebie. And then the third kill was disgusting over the top of the smoke.
I barely saw them. I hope we get a replay on this. I'm getting my glasses out. Like this shot, go. It's the 3rd.
It's to hop up onto the box here behind. What is that? Kalita's not going to want to see that one back.
Nah.
I said,
Nice.
just look how quickly, though, on the back of that X10, it got 3 bodies towards A hall.
Yeah, it's starting to pile on here, the pressure. Feeling it. It doesn't take much to break back on this sort of scoreline. That's the scary thing playing against X10 when they had such an advantage, even though KRU were looking poised to pull this back.
I say Ginny was just set up with that fault line again, but with this deep smoke, maybe feeling as if it's not necessary, especially with a little bit of pressure on this wall in Arcade. Konsu and Conir over here, potentially trying to bait a rotate. I mean, it's drawn Ginny initially, but with no follow through. I think they revert back to the initial set piece, but the KRU look a little hesitant here.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. They're waiting for some indicators. Romy might get caught out here.
Oh, gets away with murder. Romy is lucky to be standing, but Polly there. Quickly gonna deal with Romy trying to take that space, avenge the fallen teammate. But you gotta look at the spike. That's still heading towards the B site.
And Alyssa's gonna hear these steps as well. That's crucial.
30 seconds left.
Cross is being watched here. Muffin on the case. Wall goes up.
But there's a gap. There's a
Not
big
completely
gap.
protective at all. This is on Muffin though. They are still winning out the numbers here. KRU doing well. Ginny's gone down. Plant gonna come in, and now it's down to the 2 players, Polly and Muffin. And there's the first to fall. Kinnear goes down. Now 3v2. Deals with another. Polly strides in on the site. Looking towards the site itself for the player who put down the spike and loses out. And now Muffin, what are you gonna do with it? What?
Oh my
God, Muffin!
Are you kidding me?
So many this one player, dragging X10, kicking and screaming to map and match point.
I mean, it's just another round. You look back, and it's the slightest of margins that Rolling Thunder misses.
Match point.
It looks so close. I thought that was good.
Such a fantastic reposition as well. I think Muffin rings off a shot with that operator from spawn. Immediately repositions here and finds an advantageous angle. You can see here, look how close it is.
Just.
Ice cold as well. Muffin barely breaking a sweat. Ice cold, Lauren.
And this is the tense one. I don't know how this keeps happening. I feel like we're right back into the driving seat, though, trying to pull themselves. There's 3 players on the outside. X10, there's 3 players coming from Dish. They're right back on the side. Baby TZ's already on the side itself, and KRU are going, wait, hold on, what the hell did we just hear? What is this round already, Mike?
Well, the problem being, Base invested all of the smokes here, so KRU have to find something from this.
Gonzu's already fallen, though. Alyssa's found them. This is all over the shop, and they're actually making a mad dash with the spike out of here.
They have to try and hit B now with no wall and no smokes, Lauren.
This is going to be such a scramble. It's going to be so scrappy. And look who they're walking into. It's going to be Muffin here, who's been absolutely out of this world. And it looks like she wants more of that again. Finds Kinnear, and now they're down to 3, dwindling in numbers, dwindling in hope. They could be going home unless they can pull something out of the bag here. This needs to be miraculous. It has to be ingenious. And Ginny's got him through the box. Baby TZ takes down Beish. Romy, the last one alive, has to face the music. There is so little to be done here. Stand and take it in the end. Alyssa seals it. X10 stay alive.